Hi, welcome to Do It Yourself. I'm Brad Bertrand, co-creator of Do Crew, and we'll be doing a jet ski maintenance, changing oil and spark plugs. All right, I got my oil kit here. It cost me about $103 from the dealership. It's a little bit more expensive. I get an employee discount because I know the guy. But my parts guy said that the spark plugs for the RXTX-300 is part specific. So make sure you get the right spark plugs for your jet ski. And of course your oil and your oil filter, and we'll be changing these out, save ourselves a lot of money. You'll save about $280 doing it yourself instead of taking it to the dealership. So I removed 14 bolts off the cover and I'm about to pull it out, and we'll get started on the spark plugs. Now that we got our cover off, we'll go ahead and remove the dipstick, take that out, take this cover off. All right, now you see we're gonna start with the spark plugs. These are your coils. This is a T27 star bit. We'll remove these three, and we'll take these clips off, and we'll be able to get to the spark plugs. All right, as you see, I got the coils disconnected, the T27 taken off. I usually leave the coils in with the spark plug, and I'll do one at a time. I'll take this one off, and I'll work on, I guess that's cylinder number 3, or one of 3. And I'll go ahead and get the spark plug out, put the new spark plug in, put that one back in, and then hook it back up. And I do that just so nothing gets confused. I don't know if it matters or not, but that's just the way I do it. All right, so using our 16mm socket, you'll never be able to get this out. You never be able to get the spark plug out. So what you do is you take your coil, stick it down in there, voila. That's how you get it out, and that's how you put it back in. Use your coil to do it. And we got the new one on there. I'll put it down in the hole. We'll get it started. And then we can use the ratchet. If the spark plug don't come back out, then you're good to go. We'll use the ratchet, get it tightened down, and we'll torque it. All right, we got our spark plug down in the hole. We got it tightened up. What you want to do with the coils, when you're taking the plug off, it doesn't have to stay straight up like this. You can turn it to the side and get your cap on. It usually makes it a little easier. I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. Let's see if I can do this one-handed while holding my phone. There we go. Got it in there. Gonna turn it back straight over here. Put our little ground wire. Get my screw here, my bolts. I'm trying to forgive me. I'm doing this one-handed. Get that tightened up. There. T27. All right, I'm gonna use my ratchet, finish that off, but you got one done, 2 more to go. So now we're gonna move on to the oil. I'm gonna crank the jet ski for about 10-15 seconds. All right, so what you're gonna need, this is what is this? This is an Ironton 12-volt oil extractor pump. I kept my old jug from last time. This was a new oil. I've got my new oil right here. I've got my tube inside my dipstick. I've got the exhaust or the output into my oil jug, and I'm gonna turn it on. And we're gonna start pumping oil out. Here we go. And we're moving on. Now this is going to be a process. We'll have to crank the motor several times and keep cranking it to try to get the majority of the oil out. And I'll show you how to do that here in a second. Now you can see this is my first time at it. It's starting to gurgle a little bit. Not picking up the oil, trying to get most of it off. So I'll adjust those hose a little bit. There we go. There we go. We'll start picking up oil. Sometimes you may have to push it in a little more, pull it. But the engine holds a lot of oil, so I'm going to show you how to try to get the majority of that out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my tube out of my dipstick, and then I'm going to crank the motor. All right, so if you don't know this trick, you need to pull in the gas lever and then spin the motor over by pressing start. If you have the gas trigger pulled in all the way, the motor will not crank, and that'll just get some of this oil pumping around inside the block. So we're gonna do that real quick. All right, I spun the motor over, probably spun about 3 or 4 times, let it spin over. And when you're putting in your fill line, you can feel when you hit the bottom square. That's where you wanna be at. So let's see where we get this on now. Oh yeah, look, see that, just spinning over. Now we're pulling some more oil out of it. There we go. See, and we're gonna do this a couple times. We'll do it as needed. May do it 3 or 4 times, and then we'll get the oil filter out and we'll suck that out. All right, so taking off your oil filter, you will need a T10 star socket. Let me see if I can get that back. Star socket, that's what you need. All right, we got our oil filter out. Now we're gonna go ahead and suck that little bit of oil out of there. All right, so got the oil filter off of here. You got 2 gaskets you got to change out, a little thin one and a thick one, and that's what came with the oil kit. Right there, we're going to change those out. We're going to put the new filter. Got the new filter, we're going to put it on, and we're going to put it back together and put it back in the hole. All right, we got it back on there. New filter, and we're about to fill it up with oil. Now, when you fill it up with oil, you need to go slow. And you keep checking your dipstick. You don't want to overfill your oil. Unless you have a catch can like mine, but I'm missing a filter. Last ride it broke off. I'm gonna have to buy another filter or buy another catch can. But it's probably down inside my engine, but I can't find it. I'll look for it earlier. Anyway, it's just things that happen when you ride as hard as I do. Anyway, we're gonna start filling up the oil. Take your time. Don't try to put it all in and then see. Go slow. All right, so after cranking it a couple times and getting it, I put in 3.5 quarts. That's what came with the kit. Let's see if you can see this. You can see the oil is right at the tip. Let's see if I can back up a little bit. All right, and where you want it to be at, let me put this down. Let's see if we can see that. All right, I'm trying to do this with one hand. If y'all don't know, I lost my GoPro 8. I didn't lose it, but it went down on me on my trip. All right, so you want the oil to be right around here at the very beginning. So we're in good shape. The oil's right there, if you can see, right there. And I'll go get another quart and just add a little bit more to get it right where I want it. Because you don't want to overfill these, because then if you don't have a catch can, it's going into your intakes, your air intakes, and all that stuff, and causes problems later. All right, so I'm gonna put this back together, put the everything in reverse, put the cover back on here, and then we'll, let's see. There's some little slots that's got to go in on both sides. Right there. Yep. There we go. Put our dipstick back on. And then we're ready to put the cover back on. Well, that's it. This is your oil change. Now, let me say one thing. All right, last thing. To reset your maintenance counterclock, that's the only part that's a little sticky, because I have Candoo Pro. I can reset my own. That's the part where you may need a dealership to do that for you. I don't know, sometimes they won't do it if they ain't done the oil change, but for $400 investment, you can get Candoo Pro or get the buds, and then you'll never have to pay for another oil change. I've been doing this for over probably 8 years, changing my own oil. So it's just something for you to think about.